Okay, so we're going down to Sonny. He's a 7-month-old Morgan gelding. He was gelded approximately 6 weeks ago, and I've been here probably 6 times, maybe 5 times, and we've had a few sessions with him every time. And I'm going to do some training with Sonny and his mother Gypsy. Now, I'm not looking at the horses, but I'm feeling them. And by that, I'm doing my mental preparation, because I'm slowing myself down, not so much speed in here, my breathing. And I have an overview, but I just want to allow things to happen, and as opposed to trying to make anything happen. I'm about to go in to the horse's yard and interact with them. I've got 2 horses. I'll probably put 2 halters on them simultaneously. First of all, I got them set up my arm. This one is bigger. It'll go on the mare. This one's for the foal. I know exactly where they are. I don't have to look at them again. Mentally, I've done my prep. I'm open. I'm going to wander here. The horses are calm and relaxed. So I like to open the gate out. I take a step back, and it's almost like a ceremonial bow, and I don't stare at them. First of all, I just wander around and I look out. I'm influencing those horses by not appearing to. Now, Sonny's 8 months old. He's full of life and energy. He feels the need to move more than Mum does. So now I've focused on him. So through my body, my thought patterns, through my body language, the horse knows everything I'm thinking. So if I think it, the horse reads my body language and it knows my thoughts. And I've actually talking to this horse right from now. And I set up a scenario. And then the first thing I do is move away. Now, you might notice how I'm crossing my legs a bit. That's not by accident. Now, he's going to move backwards, but see my hand still there? So there's of no consequence whatsoever. He might need to run, but if he does, good. So if he needs to run away and go crazy, well, that's what he needs to do. And he's just saying, I don't necessarily have to listen to you. But it's not so much pressure he's got to blast away. And if he does, that's just something that he's got to figure out for himself. I can't make him. And why would I want to? And then he's almost going to run. But I'm using that as a teaching tool. I said, I'm just standing here. And there's his release, and I smile. And then I reckon you're a clever fella. I might put the rope there. And now because I did that, I might put it there. Then I might put it there. And he says, you'll put a halter on him. I said, no need to, mate. I just led that horse. So psychologically, I've just led him, and I haven't got the halter on him yet. So I'm hugging him, I'm not grabbing him. If I think I'm hugging him, my thought patterns will be that, and my body language will say, I just hugged him. He gave a bit of a jump because the camera moved just behind him there, and that's all right. So if I grab him with the lead rope, I've lied. I've just wasted my time. I'm not going to grab him, I'll just wander this way. He'll feel that. And then he said, I'm so clever, if I just turn and follow Gavin, all that pressure goes away. Now, Mum's had a chance to think about the situation, and she's decided it'd be a great idea if she engaged with me. So I'll focus on Mum. I want to see if I can influence her and pull her nose this way in the front end, and I did. That sigh is hugely significant. She built tension, she looked that way momentarily and said, I might have to leave. And then she stayed in the moment and thought, I don't have to. Now, he can do whatever he wants. I've suggested he's tied there. I've got to tell him that he doesn't have to follow. So I'm saying, you stay there. I'm only going here to Mum. Now, she's looked away from me because her feet aren't going to leave, but momentarily she emotionally checks out. So I've just monitored the situation. It's too much to demand or say, I'm not even going to ask her to look at me, because I'm just putting more and more pressure on her, and pretty soon she'll volunteer that either anyway. Same time, Sonny's having a bit of a think, does he have to stay there? Is he really tied to the ground? What people normally do, and I used to, we grab them here. But can you see we're almost choking them? We're giving the horse no free choice. But if I break my thought patterns and I did this, now see how he's still tied to Mother Earth, and I haven't asked him to come until I do that, and therefore he's not tied to the ground. But if he's there, he's tied to the ground. So if you want to pick a lead rope up, don't pick it up so it's off the ground. Now he can feel it, now we're going. And that way it's pretty clear to him exactly what's happening. I've got two horses, obviously. I'm going to only talk to one, even though I'm aware of the second one. Mum's a bit more reserved than him. He's a bit more outgoing. Now, if we ignore Sonny the horse behind us, she's one horse, I'm two horses. This is the lead mare, says, how would you like to go there? And if she's a bit slow, this other hand's the stallion. The stallion says, how about you go there? Because the last horse gets killed and eaten or lost. The lead mare suggests, I reckon it'd be a good idea if you went there. That time, she was just happy to follow the lead mare. The stallion didn't have to do anything. So if this was a human, I'd say, would you like to come this way? I've got something I'd like to show you. Can you please come this way here? And if you come this way here, I've got something very interesting to show you too. And usually this other hand says, can you come this way, please? And then we focus. This is horse body language, but this is human body language. How would you like to come this way? And that time, I didn't need the stallion, so she feels pretty happy because she's in a herd of three. The lead mare makes great decisions. All she says is a request, hey, how would you like to go this way? The stallion supports and protects and encourages and keeps her safe. I'll leave her there for a minute. So we're just asking this fella the same thing. Can you come this way? Haven't had to use the stallion there. I'm going to ask him to go this way. He has. Now, if I lift this hand, I'm asking his front end to elevate and lift and put weight on his back. If the hand goes here, I'm talking to the shoulder. This talks to the hind quarter. So I'm going to talk to the front end, specifically that front foot there. But I'm going to lift the horse up a little bit, and then I've asked the shoulder to go. And that was the first thing. Now I asked the hip to move. Maybe next time. We'll ask the shoulders to stop across. And then we'll ask the hip to go. We'll ask the shoulders with the karate chop. And now that hand then talks to the hip. I'll get some momentum. Shoulder, hip. And then we have some backwards. So that's just biomechanics. I just built some energy, and he said that was pretty simple. Ask Mum to come here. We'll give her a little bit of energy. Here I'm building a bit more life. Bit more life. Now I want to slow down. So I'd like this horse to mirror me mentally, physically and emotional. If I build my life, I'd like her to build a life. So I'm exaggerating for the camera, not for the horse. I'm saying you stay there, she's tied to there, and you can stay there. He's waited for me, so he's only 8 months old, but he's already got the idea. So you can stay there. So see, I'm empowering her. Now it's his turn. Now he's got more life. Now I'm going to get closer to the fence, and that's a trap because he can't escape through there. And the closer I get, the more claustrophobic, and eventually he'll say it's physically, mentally or emotionally impossible for me to do that, and he'll say I'm not. Because there's a tiny bit of fear and he's coming into a trap, that's why he accelerates. Ask him to come this way. I'll get a little bit closer. Therefore we're closer, but he felt claustrophobic, a little bit frightened. He didn't say no, but he had to race through the scary spot. And now eventually I'll get closer and closer, and he'll say, I can't, I won't, I don't, you can't make me, I don't have to, or I'm terrified. And I'm engineering chaos because I want him to be resilient, and he'll say to a point he can't possibly do it. And I want that horse to know that nothing's impossible, and I want to help him work these situations out ahead of me getting on him and riding him down the road. There, he was just hesitant. He tried, so I didn't keep putting pressure on because he tried his little heart out. Now, it's important to project. So I've changed my body to here. I'm not asking to go all the way through. That's all I ask for that. Now watch my hand and my pelvis tilts there and my belly button. He's actually backing up to that pressure there, which is positional pressure. I'll click. And that was enough pressure, and my hand will go back there, and he's acknowledged my hand and he's grounded there. I'm going to focus forward. You watch my feet change. And see how my hand opened so he had pressure if he felt he had to run? And if my hands are open, I'm trusting. I'm going to get a bit closer too. Notice I'm not using the stay in it this time, I don't have to. That's pretty challenging. So I'm only focused to here. I haven't asked him to go through. And then he's checking in. Now, my belly button is the most important part of me apart from my mind. See my right toes pointing there? Good, I'll say thanks for that. Ask for more. I'll keep asking now. And see that maneuver there? That's my riding maneuver, that's how I steer the back in. Now I'll walk away. And then he says, that's pretty good. Now, I'm going to say, because you're such a clever fella, I'm going to put you in this corner here. So I'm asking a real challenge of him now. Any horse would find this challenging. But can you watch my body move in increments? So I'm asking his body to move in increment. That's like, thanks for that. How about to there? Thanks for that. How about to there? Thanks for that. I'll pause because it's going to get scary now. I accepted that. How about there? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He didn't even touch me there. Now, he bumped that and he ran. But I didn't run. I didn't grab that. He ran, he didn't even hit the rope, and he come back to an open hand. And he let out the sigh, and he licked and chewed, and all that adrenaline and cortisone that coursed through his veins just then, he's just released it. I'm going to ask him again. Part of him is say, it's going to bite me again. I said, I reckon you can do it, mate. How about you have another go? So if you watch where my belly button's looking, now see, he made a decision on the basis of the past. This is what's going to happen in the future. But he was enough present with me and trusted me enough, and that is so powerful when they trust you. But that time he didn't hit the fence. He put more curve in his body. He went straighter in the body with the fear. Fear puts a straight line in your body, and that's why he couldn't turn and he hit it. And he didn't get anywhere near that rope that time. It was short all the time. Now I'm going to say, I reckon you've learnt from those two lessons, mate. So I'm not doing repetitions expecting we're just repeating something. We're not repeating anything. Because the first time he got to there and then he got a fright because he bumped there and he said it was very challenging. Next time he was trusting, he said he'll blast through, but he put a curve in his body and he stuck like glue to me there. So this time I said, I think you don't even have to panic this time, right? So I want that point, because it's very important. I'm not doing repetitions because we're actually asking different things, even though it looks like a similar task, and I'm giving him learning opportunities. There he did that. So from here to here, he was cold, and then he just didn't quite step his hindquarter underneath the knot. But see, where is he now? So what we put in him, when he gets the fright, what does he do? Initially he spurts energy, runs, crosses behind, checks in, and then what's Gavin doing? And Gavin's sitting there calm and relaxed. So one day if I'm on him and he gets a panic, as long as I stay the same, he'll just do a little jump and then check in with me again. So ask him again. Not that we're just repeating things. These are things that I'm allowing him to work things out himself. Now here it's important because he said, will that bite me? I'm saying it doesn't have to. So my mindset is setting his mindset up. Now, didn't touch that, did he? And now, last time there was no mouthing, licking and chewing. That time, he really thought about it. So now I'm not going to repeat it because he's learnt the first time he touched it, the second time he did it, the third time he did it, that time he didn't. And because he did that mouthing, he said, I have learnt a whole lesson just then. All right, so I'm going to suggest he could stay there. If he follows me, so be it. But I'm suggesting he stays there. I want you to come to me, please. So even though I don't have the rope in, I'm still the same person because eventually I don't want to use the rope. So Mum's a little bit more shut down. He's very open and he's very confident. Mum lacks a bit of confidence. So I'm boosting her confidence up. With young fella, I'm enhancing and working on his confidence. But with her, I have to give to her more. So my body's softer, I back up more. I wasn't doing this to Sonny because he's so bold. If I keep backing up to him, he'll get a bit boisterous and then he'll get a bit pushy and then he'll want to take over. Whereas Gypsy, she's different. She just wants to have some faith and trust in me, and then she wants to be a good follower. That's where she's coming from. So we'll do similar things with Mum, but Mum doesn't move her body quite the same. She's a bit more shut down, and the more shut down in here, the straighter the body and the more rigid the body is. Now, she'll bend her neck a lot, so that looks like she's flexible, but actually the only reason she bends her neck a lot is she's not using the vertebrae in her spine at all. Her body doesn't bend, so that's why her neck will bend more than any other part of her body. Whereas Sonny, he's more congruent. From the tip of his ears back to his tail, everything moves pretty much uniform. Now I'm going to walk away because I'm building a confidence. I say, oh, that was pretty amazing, that. Whereas if Sonny did that, I'd say, mate, you're a talented young fella, you can do more than that. Why would I accept that? But Mum, she needs her confidence built. I'm going to say, that's amazing. No other horse in the history of the world has ever been able to do that just like that. And we'll forget that she just watched Sonny do that, but I'm building her up. Because I've got to be her cheerleader and her coach and her everything support system. There I said, I believe in you enough that I reckon you could do it. Now I'm going to go quick. Because we have a rapport, I've actually started something with her, and now I have the right to say, I reckon you're more talented than you think you were, and she'll probably say, no, I'm not, I don't believe in myself. And so I've got to believe in her enough for the two of us now. I'm going to go even closer. Now, this hand is actually throwing energy there, coming up behind her and pulling her forward. So it's behind her butt, that hand, from 3 meters away. This hand's leading, this hand's throwing behind her, and then it's pushing her forward there. So I'm trying to reach behind her. So this hand is going to try and go 2 meters behind her tail and then curve and touch the tail. So that's what I just truly believe. She's too slow. I've thrown energy out that way behind her and it's pushed her up there. She's too slow. I've thrown energy behind her there and here. Here I'm going to throw energy behind her and I'll touch her there. I've thrown energy, ask her. But I'm showing her that she doesn't always have to circle. She's said, that's a bit different. Now I'm going to throw energy over there and push that shoulder over to me. So I'm pushing over there and see she took a step to me. I'm going to push over there. Push over there. And that foot come to me. That was the one I wanted. And I'll leave her alone for a bit. She's put her head down, relax, you can stay there. Now, we need to move. Because it's important to not tippy-toe. Remember, Sonny and I have done stuff before. So I need to be able to lift my energy a bit. Now, I don't talk about desensitizing. So everything comes from me. If I'm relaxed, it doesn't matter if I do this. This doesn't mean move. If I do this, why would he move? He will. But eventually he'll figure it's got nothing to do with the rope. I'm not desensitizing him. I'm just saying, read me. If I do this and I'm not thinking about moving, why would you move? But if I think move, obviously he said, I knew what that meant. But if I'm here doing that, no energy, not thinking about him, why would you move? I haven't talked to you. And because he has, I've just kept doing it. And obviously if he's terrified, I'd ease it off a bit. Eventually he'll figure it's got nothing to do with the rope unless I say it has. So he's just got to be used to me. If I'm here doing this, I'm not asking him to move. What's that got to do with him? But if I move here, it's got everything with moving. But if I'm not thinking about you move, why would you move? It's got nothing to do with you. If I didn't have this thing on me, I'd be leaping in the air a lot more, right? Now, I need this horse to move, and I need him to move fast, because at the moment, he'll use moving fast as a method when he's a bit emotional. He'll get out of control emotionally and he'll spook himself. And he can actually find out accidentally it's a way to control the human, because when they go fast, the human gets a bit scared, and then eventually they do it because the human loses control. So we're going to ask him to move a bit faster. And then he'll try and run around crazy and say, "Don't you know who I am?" And then he's got to burn a few calories for a bit. I don't want to make him tired, but I just want him to figure out, I'm faster than you. See, can he outrun me? And now look, I'm there ahead of him. This time around I am. Now, whatever happens, I use it. Now, the old days I would have panicked. Why would I panic? This was the best opportunity that I could have imagined. And now look what I've got now. So instead of saying, "Oh my God, this is terrible," it's like, that's the best thing that could have happened. So you as a leader, as a trainer, whatever happens, you just need to use. So nothing's good or bad. It's just how you respond to it. So one day he might have to be a lead horse and have a pack horse behind him, mightn't he? Sonny's owner might want to ride him up into the mountains and take Gypsy too, with the tent and all the supplies. So imagination is so important. And that wasn't a setup, that was just pure joy that it happened. Now, I haven't done this before, but that doesn't matter. So whatever happens, I frame and I actually determine a positive way what just happened. So he needs the freedom of expression. He can follow, he can run circles all day long. Now, what's really important is a second's a long time with horses. So if you have, well, I had about 5 seconds. Why do I go for 50 seconds? Why for 5 hours? So if that's positive, I can frame it as positive. If I kept going for another 10 seconds, it could be the opposite. Why would I do that? I'll ask again. See, I decided that was a positive interaction there. Now, you stay there, you come here. If I tied it around it, it'd be crazy. Because if he felt trapped, he had no choice. Now, if I use my imagination, you're tied, you stay there. You're tied, you stay there. I've been meaning to check that hoof there, darling. Think you can stay there because you're tied. Now, I don't want to physically tie horses. She's emotionally tied and mentally tied to the horse in front. That's the hitching rail, isn't it? Now, he's tied to there. So we'll ask for that foot. Thanks, young fella. I have changed sides. See, I framed that. Can I have that foot? Thank you very much. Can I have that one? Thank you very much. Can I have that one? Thank you very much. Now, everything he does, I make a decision. That costs a lot of money, what you got there, mate. Thank you. So he's not trapped. If he wants to jump, he can. Now, he doesn't want to run away. He would have done more than that. He says, oh, do you think it's okay? I said, yeah. He made a decision. So if I had panicked and grabbed him, he would have felt grabbed. And I just said, I'm pretty relaxed. So we're going to lead his mum again. Come on, you can teach your mum a few things, can't you? Now, I need to ground this horse here. I got to put myself there. My essence is there, but I'm going here. My essence is there, going here. This is for the concept I'm trying to explain, but I haven't asked him to follow. He's got to understand I'm not asking him to lead. You stay there, but I'm here. You stay there, I'm here. You stay there, I'm here. And then he'll get to understand that. I haven't engaged with this horse. I'm not thinking about him. I haven't talked to him. I try not to move the rope too much, pulling it on him. And then on the count of three, I'm going to engage with him. 1, 2, 3. My energy, my thoughts. And now I'm actually asking him to follow me. So I don't want this horse to be confused. Now, I'm going to leave my energy there. You stay there. Gavin's over there. Gavin's mind and spirit there, but his body's over here. Gavin's mind and his spirit's there, but my body's here. Gavin's spirit and his mind is there. Gavin's body's here. They can understand the difference. I'm going to wander over here. I've thought about the lead rope that's over his back. It's here. I've thought about it. I've asked for permission. Can I come here? I've put it out. I've thought, mate, it's got nothing to do with you. You just happen to have a rope on you. My hand's here. It's there. I've touched you. I've touched the rope. I've picked it up here and I moved. Now, Gavin's mind and spirit is there. However, his body's over here hanging onto this lead rope with Mum. Now, I'm going to spend more time because Mum just needs that little bit more help to get there. I'm spending time on the eye. There's lots of nerves over there. Gavin's mind and spirit's there. Gavin's mind and spirit, but his body's going here. Gavin's mind and spirit there. Gavin's mind and spirit's there. My mind and spirit's there. So they're in charge of their comfort. If they stand nice and relaxed, they're comfortable. He thinks he might have to move, but he's discovering he doesn't really have to. If they cannot be comfortable in that spot, I will take them away and put them back to work. And when they say, it'd be good if I could stand still for a while, I said, great, how about you do it there? And then the horse says, I love that spot, right? And it's all new to him and a bit to Mum. He says, you sure your mind and your spirit's there, but isn't your body here? I said, yeah, but it's connected over there. So he's done really well. So I've got this length of time. I'm very thankful for that. So it'd be greedy of me to say, I want another 5 minutes. You know, and you've got to have a sense. Do you have maybe 3 minutes more? And if you think you can get 3 minutes more out of the horse, quit after 1 minute, because after 2 minutes, it might have been 2 minutes. And then if the horse says, I'm overwhelmed, you've asked too much, I focus on that foot, get that one out the way, that foot, that foot, that foot, that foot, and by the way, you don't have to move anymore. If I put pressure on the head and she was resistant to back up a bit, I'm going to have to use force, and then I make a dull and I make the whole head dull. And instead of saying your head's in the way, I said, look at those feet, get them out the way. Because our role as a leader is to influence feet. I've just said, get that foot out the way. Now I haven't. Now I've asked, so all I'm doing is moving feet. Here it's like, move that foot, move that foot, move that foot, move that foot, that foot, move that foot. You don't have to move anymore. And it's not personal if I talk to a feet. So I'm going to let these go because they've done really well. Now, who moves their feet least is in control. So you might notice I haven't moved my feet. Could see a little bit of lick and chewing there? I'm just setting him up a little bit different. That hand's pushing that shoulder across, just that little wiggle. Here I've asked him to come this way a little bit. He's overreacted just a tiny bit, but that's good, and he actually come straight that time. Good, that's what I want, mate. Now, he got some tension in him because he's not in this moment in time. He's jumped ahead and said this is going to happen. The mouth says he's softening, he's thinking, the eyes are gone softer, the head will come down a little bit, the ears might move. Like there, and he did a blink and the head went down. And then I waited for that moment. He had to tell me, he said, I'm getting a bit more relaxed with all this stuff, mate. Take my time, I haven't raced into anything. I still have this horse, still have him. And then I could say, done with you, it's just me and Mum here. And then I'll leave him alone because he's invisible now, he can do whatever he wants. So I've tried my best to break the bond and explained, we're actually not having a conversation anymore. Now, she's looked away, that's just lack of confidence. So I just want to wait for a bit. That's all I have to do. Thank you. When I say thank you, I mean it with every fibre of my body. I'll just bring her here for a second. I'm going to bring the nose to me with this hand, but I want you to see how I do it. It's a rotation of the wrist, that's all it is. See how I rotated my wrist? I rotate the neck. It's huge. I did not pull. I rotated my wrist and I rotated her up here. Same with when you ride. So how you hold your lead rope, your rein, means everything. Here I'll keep her a little bit longer. I'll just suggest it. No demands. That's all the pressure I need. Thank you. Now I'm going to straighten her up. I'm going to hold her here. I'm going to change sides. She says, I have something to say about that. That was just her insecurities there. She's softened. Thank you. Okay, do whatever you want. I've taken my mind, body and spirit with me this time. I've broken the connection and now I'm on my way. And I've explained, we're finished at the moment. And I don't look backwards if they bolt away. I didn't see or hear it.